examine this phenomena, we prepare for it ahead of the 2024 elections, and we agree as a society on methods to combat it. We political actors are guilty across the various political parties. The media is increasingly guilty. Citizens are guilty as we keep spreading and forwarding things asking, is it true, and we keep publishing it.
We are staying this school here, we don't know where to go. And we just stay here, they are not bringing us through to. We are just pleading the government that they should find some place for us so that we can be learning. And we don't know what will happen next. I'm informed on November, 1st November, we are going to write more. And we don't know where to stay, so we stay in the school, so that we don't know what to do again. We are not doing nothing. The small note that our teachers give to us, that's the only thing that I'm learning for now. That's the only thing I'm learning for now.
So what do you want the government to do for you?
We are pleading the government that they should find some place for us so that if we from 3 people can be learning from that small place, then we can be learning there, because we don't have any option that the small note that the teachers give us we should be learning. That's the only thing we have now.
Thank you.
My visit here today is a very simple one. It is to come and sympathize and commiserate with you about the tragedy that has occurred. When it happened, I was in America on official business. When the chief of staff called me in America about what had happened, and we discussed what had to be done. So that's when we agreed to establish an interministerial committee to coordinate government response to this tragedy. And the coordination is about immediate, about tomorrow, and about tomorrow. The most important thing was, first of all, to ensure the life of people. And that is why 9 centers were established here in Mepe for all the displaced people. And all the people in these 9 centers have been provided relief items by NADNO. And it's NADNO's intention to continue the exercise of providing relief items. So apart from what NADNO is doing, we have also to think about the future. I'm aware that you are farming people. The people who are farming on the banks of the rivers, river banks that have overflown and destroyed many of the farms. So one of the things that the Ministry of Agriculture, the Ministry of Finance, and the Office of the President is going to be working with the District Assembly is to decide exactly the nature of the support we have to give to you when the water has gone away, to enable you to do the farming. This is why I'm saying that the committee is working in several phases. One, immediate relief, and then tomorrow. But I want you to know that the government is going to do everything in its powers to assist, to make sure that things are all right. I think everybody here, and I hope you take the message all across, North Tongu, South Tongu, Central Tongu, that when these things happen and government acts, politics does not come into the matter at all. When I took the oath of office as president, I took the oath of office as president of every single individual in Ghana, of all peoples in Ghana, all districts. And whether they voted for me or not, once I have taken the oath, I am the president of all the people. So Toby, you and your elders, I want the people here, you, beginning with you and the elders, to understand that when something like this happens and government acts, Government is acting for Ghanaians, all Ghanaians. I came here because Ghanaians are having difficulties and are suffering. And it is my responsibility to try and help. Because
what is the difference between the ordinary thief and a political thief? Number one, the ordinary thief steals your money, your bag, your watch, and your jewelry, isn't it? But the political thief steals your future, your career, your education, your health, and your business. Number two, the hilarious part is that the ordinary thief will choose whom to rob. But you are the one who choose the political thief to rob you. Because we choose them. We vote them. We blindly say we are not blind. Who is deceiving who? The ridiculous part of the whole issue is that we will fight to defend and protect our belongings from the ordinary thief. Is it not? But we fight each other to defend and protect the political thief. Is that not what we do? Thugs will be fighting themselves to protect those that are stealing our career, stealing our joy, stealing our health, stealing our success. What a shame.
This country is in serious trouble, ladies and gentlemen. We are in serious trouble. We need to rescue this country, ladies and gentlemen. The presidency has been so depraved, so muddied, so dirtied, that I tell you in all sincerity as a Ghanaian, that I feel terribly sad today as a Ghanaian. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi, inshallah.
Please don't cry.
We shall rescue our country. If you reach a certain stage in life and there is nobody who can look you in the eye and tell you the truth, you are doomed. And that is where our country has gotten to. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi. And I feel very terrible as a Ghanaian at this time.
Government is broke, government is broke. The people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
All right, a very good morning to you. Welcome to the program. This is Good Morning Ghana, live from the studios here at North Ridge. We're streaming on Facebook as well as Metro TV or Good Morning Ghana page, all on Facebook. On channel 277, we're on DSTV. My name is Annie Efua Ampof. We'll be taking you through the show today. Let's start off with the headlines of the newspapers. And starting with Daily Graphic, it says, lithium mining gets green light. Atlantic Lithium receives first lease. Maximizing agric benefit, President charges youth to form cooperatives. In Kranza South, food basket untapped tourism potential. Ato Forcing trial, I gave approval, payment in error, set Tekbe. Ghanaian Times, Information Minister calls for honest national debate on low health financing. Setekpe testifies in Ato Forcing ambulance case. CSO's government, others must collaborate to address electoral disinformation. Dr. Zamora. It's actually Dr. Kasaz Zamora. The name is hyphenated. Government grants first lithium mining lease with increased loyalties, value addition. 15 Bono East communities submerged following heavy rains. Delhi Guide. Dam spillage. All stakeholders engaged in simulation exercise. VRA. All stakeholders engaged in simulation exercise. VRA. NYA boss hailed over youth resource centers. 2.37 million euro ambulance case. I gave her to forcing go ahead, Seth Tekpe. NPP not tribalistic, Baumia. KT Hammond floors Jachikwe saying over contempt. New Crusading Guide. I ordered Ato Forcing to request LCs from BOG, Seth Tekpe. Sami Jemfi digs into heritage imperial mining, fires RTI request to 4 government entities. State Housing MD donates to alma mater. At the top right corner, a breach chief in double sale of land in Pediase. Dam spillage. VRA engaged all stakeholders in evacuation simulation exercise. Government stakeholders dialogue on dialysis. Global diplomats appoint Dr. Samuel Ben Owusu as special emissary. And we also have Lashimanche, furious over government's alleged release of lands pending at Supreme Court. The Insight, unemployment crisis, Federation of Labour wants 2024 budget to focus on job creation. Akufo-Addo says not every political office holder is a thief. Chinese President Xi Jinping speaks a third Belt and Road Forum for International Cooperation. Lala Shimanche, unhappy over government alleged release of lands pending at Supreme Court. Ahead of 2024, CSOs worried over EC's entrenched position in making Ghana card sole document for voter registration. The Informer. Manage future dam spillage. Baumia charges VRA. Towards energy transition, Energy Bank crucial. Napo. First Sky Group supports blood victims. Donates items worth. Flood victims. Donate items worth 1 million Ghana cedis and 2.5 million Ghana cedis insurance package. Eschew violent comments, Methodist bishop tells politicians. In this issue, Akufo-Addo directs NHIA to develop a plan to fund kidney treatment. The Inquisitor. $140 million judgment debt. $140 million judgment debt. How it came about. Family feud, minister indiscretion pop-up. Minister indiscretions pop-up. Information service delivery in an artificially intelligent world. And then we also have Stop Press, Education Ministry, UNICEF land on the radar of 2 ministers from Ashanti region, party chairman to be looted. Massive facelifts for new job in South under bare fee. The Herald. PIAC blows alarm on Ghana's $340 million oil money. Details of VRA simulation and evacuation exercise revealed. Youth unemployment, national headache. Akufo-Addo confesses as he launches Youth in Agric program. Breaking news. Men's Gold starts payments today. 5 million Ghana cedis earmarked. The Daily Statesman. Ghana seals first lithium deal with enhanced royalties, increased state participation. I hope so. Government initiates action on kidney disease treatment. Social media degrading good governance ideals. Foreign Minister. VIP sympathizes with flood victims. The Finder. Government move to tackle dialysis costs upon Chroma. EC calls for framework to regulate social media use during election. Government grants 15-year lease to Barari, DV, Ghana to mine lithium at Ewoya. Akonsombo Dam spillage impact farmers' livelihoods companies. Rain Park rallies public to support Akonsombo Dam spillage victims. The Daily Post. Dafemekpo slams Dr. Baumia for donating only 160,000 Ghana cedis to Volta flood victims when he donated 12 million Ghana cedis to flood victims in Sierra Leone. Ambulance case, I authorized Atuforsen to request establishment of LCs, Tekpe tells court. Professor Jane Nana supports flood victims in the Volta region. And the good old Catholic Standard says 2.3 million Ghanaians suffer mental health conditions. Access to care must be improved. Pope Francis honors 11 at Goso. Catholic Church assessing impact of Akosombo floods to respond appropriately. The president of the Ghana Catholic Bishop Conference, Most Reverend Matthew Kwesi Jemfi, has said that the Catholic Church is currently assessing the impact of the floods in parts of the Volta and Eastern regions to ascertain the needs of the victims to enable it respond appropriately. Okay, according to him, the assessment team comprising officials from the Caritas Ghana and Bishop of Keta Akachi Diocese, Most Reverend Gabriel Edu Komoji, has been on the ground and will soon report to the conference for further action. Okay, Synod, not talk show, but reflection on how church can walk in the world. And then in the editorial, no to any unconstitutional CI. All right, that's it for the headlines of the newspapers. Let's take a break. Be back.
Pascal is showing his boss the efficient new technology they've installed. She is pleased, but now she's asking, why is that still there? Pascal explains that he hired a security guard to protect the data shed. The boss is not so pleased anymore. If you haven't upgraded to cloud storage yet, it's time to get business done better with MTN Business.
Ready for something refreshing and great tasting? For your kids' enjoyment? Angel Cola! For your graduation enjoyment?
Angel Cola!
Beach hangout?
Angel Cola!
For all your refreshing moments?
Angel Cola!
For your parties, get-togethers, events, and celebrations, enjoy a chilled bottle of Angel Cola. Radio Grandma, today is your day. Over to you.
Thank you. Enjoyment Cola.
Angel Cola.
The Enjoyment Cola. Enjoy all your moments and fun time with Angel Cola. This advert is FDA approved.
Anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath.
I'm a fat Missy Wayne.
Pacho Bantama.
Machasri.
That's a cycle.
It's her smile.
The fresh breath.
Me, Jidi said we used to Cal 360 toothpaste.
Semikai.
Cal 360 toothpaste.
That's Kia. Cal 360 toothpaste. It's a gum protector.
Onim Jom Kasan. Cal 360 did the way. It's cool mint. Gives me fresh breath and your confidence booster.
You will see so feeling to when you know Cal 360 toothpaste.
Happy smile.
Cal 360 toothpaste, anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath. Cal, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Inside Black Star Press Limited, grow inside the invective minds, evolving concepts, and the creative trends. The printing press you need now. Witness the beauty, diversity, and natural wonder with our works. Inside Black Star Press Limited, in association with Lionhead Group of Companies. Call us now on 0200-880-000 for all your print works. Black Star Press Limited, a worldwide reputation for quality printing.
Betway is your gateway to a theme park full of gaming excitement. A whirlpool of wonder where your favorite games come to life. Where you can take to the skies with max payouts that reach into the millions. All in the palm of your hand. Visit betway.com.gh. Terms and conditions apply. Betway is regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. No under 18. Bet responsibly. Betway. Bet your way.
Enjoy the fruits of your labor, they say. But as humans, aging and physical infirmity stands our way of enjoying our mansions and homes. It often becomes challenging, if not impossible, to use our stairways day in, day out. With portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators, PVs, you are assured of unlimited enjoyment of your mansions and homes. It's a self-supported elevator for vertical movement of humans and goods at homes and offices. The original comes in 3 custom-made models with wheelchair accessibility. Call it luxury, but it's a necessary imperative for vertical mobility. Do not let aging or infirmity limit you. Get one for your easy vertical mobility at home. It's affordable and can be installed in just 3 days without modification to your existing building. It's however easier to incorporate it at the construction stage. We also have traditional Fuji elevators and escalators for your high-rise buildings and malls. Visit Lifts and Elevators Company Limited at Sakumono for your elevators nationwide. For free consultation to call or WhatsApp us on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators, the elevator people.
Everybody knows Acrobato. And if you know Acrobato, it means you know M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic. M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic is my pillar. Let's hear what others are saying about M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic. Who will be careful M-Punch one?
Chesena me ankasa me period no say problems wom ntina ma wo ho idea ma me papa chesena nya asem ketewa na me coin point no mo hwe me modam no mo hwe bibia na so mo meduro me fire no ene ma won kura mienu hofro kwa na mkwan mu a eba and everything yourself
me ma me no adwodwo eda ho a wontumi nante ene ne ko end point o mama nunu a ene ne ho eden a watimi asori anante.
That's end point for you. Hello. Ohwehwe what che okay a free bra wo di end point what dance am me call you no me just say my name koye and person na my me nyina na magina sabema na me be fear for there e ho na nyina jaresa. You heard everything. I have secret. M-Punch is my secret. M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic. I'm free. Hey, give it to me. Hey, man. Stop. Enough you guys, oh. Continue.
Prepare yourself to unleash even more moolah by staking from 1 Ghana cedi to 350 Ghana cedis. And you could win 26 times your stake on the exciting new Pick 1 game from Game Pack. Play by dialing *946# on all networks via our website or download the Game Pack app on www.gamepackgames.com. Choose your Pick 1 number from 1 to 36. Place your stake and watch our live draws on Adum TV at 9 a.m., 12 p.m. and 6 p.m. daily.
Hey, live life like me with Game Pack. Game Pack, more moolah, more power.
This game is regulated by the National Lottery Authority, not for persons under 18. Play responsibly.
My son, there's more blessing in giving than receiving. When you fear for you and couple the makers in
The pneumatological abrasion of the Lord revealed unto me this night that me and my household should go out into the world and bless the world.
Makers Electronics Company Limited. Up to 67% discount. Our selected appliances.
This is what I call quintessential immaculatability.
The Makers Electronics Company Limited. Taifa Burkina Highway. Amasama Zongo Junction. Edike Pharmacy Dining. Oyer Fateman Boga Junction. Ashaman Valco Flat. Kumasi. Ahinema Kokobeng. Asafubuachi Hospital Junction. Sakradi. Kuma. Number 9 Market.
Tell mom and dad about the Makers Blessing Attack program.
From 0552 222 253 and 0552 222 254. Terms and conditions apply.
Change your style. Be like that. Chanel baller. Be like that. Star 857 hash. Star 857 hash. Yankwe. Chanel baller. Zoom lion. Zoom lion. Chanel baller. Zoom lion. Zoom lion. 857 hash. Star 857 hash. Zoom lion. Change your style.
Change your baller style. Don't be like that. Zoom Lion is here for everyone. Pay with star 857 hash and we will come for your baller. Zoom Lion. Tiamian for baller wate.
All right, welcome back to the program. This is Good Morning Ghana. And I have with me in the studio one man I think I haven't seen after.
Baba, you saw me. You saw the last time I came here, so don't start.
Oh,
you saw me.
I saw you were. Oh, you came
I
here?
was here, yes, with Randy.
You came here once after your elections?
Yes, I came here with Randy.
You came once. Okay, you have done well. Okay, I won't do that.
And I've been participating in your program from afar. Anytime you are hosting.
I said I haven't seen. You didn't even let me finish my sentence. Anyway, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Dr. Bauer is member of parliament for Bongo constituency, and he's also on the energy committee. You're on the energy and
Mines and energy.
Mines and energy and what? And poverty reduction.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that would be good. I guess today you help me understand how the poverty line is going. Anyway, you're welcome. Good morning to you.
Thank you.
We're expecting the deputy minister for sanitation and water resources, all right? And he's also a member of parliament for Sisala East constituency, the honorable member Amidu Chinia Ishaku. So I think he'll get into the studio pretty shortly. But let me make money as he also walks in. MTN Caller Tune says that if you're ready to treat your callers to good tunes, well, you win incredible rewards. Earn points by purchasing, renewing, copying, or gifting your favorite caller tunes, and you can win amazing prizes based on your total accumulation points. Yep, build as many points as possible and you can win tons of data to stay connected to the things you love, or you can win amazing 1,000 Ghana cedis cash prize to favorite things. It's a perfect way to entertain your callers with and get started at the same time. So start connecting your Caller Tunes points today by visiting the Caller Tunes, and Caller Tunes is spelled CALLRERTUNEZ.mtn.com/GH, or dial *1355# to get started on MTN Caller Tune service. Promos last till 7th of November 2023. Terms and conditions, of course, apply. Now, for brushing your teeth, I'm sure you're getting ready to get your kids out, and it says that brushing your teeth also sometimes becomes very difficult as the children will continue to resist you. So, and that's because you're not using toothpaste that is favorable to them. So, Kel-Kit's toothpaste actually is flavored with strawberry, so it gives them perfect edge to always want to develop the urge to brush their teeth themselves and love brushing their teeth. So, Kel-Kit toothpaste also protects your child's gum and cavities, and it makes the teeth also strong and healthy. and fresh all day. It's recommended for children from 2 to 6 years old. A product from Samara Company Limited, producers of Sasso and approved by Food and Drugs Authority. So Kel Kids Smile, it says happy smile. Now, enjoying the fruit of your labor also is important as enjoying the mansions of your labor. The pains of climbing stairs when not exercising could be challenging for all ages. And so you don't have to worry no more. Lift and Elevators is in and it comes with portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators. And it's on the market. It's simple and will support you moving in your homes. It's also wheelchair fitted. It can actually have wheelchair fitted in it. Visit Lift and Elevator at Sakuma them on 0200-535515 or send an email to elevatorsgh@gmail.com for consultations and best solutions in easy vertical movements. Accra Business School says that why don't you want to secure your future? Business School. Boost your career with prestigious MSc degrees from KNUST. So you can pick forms ranging from HRM, Communications, International Marketing, International Relations, Public Affairs, or IT Management. And also, in just 12 months, the MBA can be yours. Dive into the BSc programs in IT and cybercrime and IT management as well. Now, the management also is endorsed by Universities of Ireland and Wales. That's the school's endorsement, Ireland and Wales. So they offer also flexible entry payments and learning options. Visit them on www.abs.edu.gh or call them on 0263-888-555 or 0263-888-666. Visit the campus on Spintex Road, Christ Square. Let Accra Business School elevate your future today. And if you are getting ready for a party or an organization this weekend, you want to look the way of Angel Cola products. It says enjoyment cola. So wherever you go, whatever you do, whatever you want to do, whoever you are with, is Angel Cola, and enjoy the ranges. It's Angel Orange, Mango, Peach, Apple Lime, which is a lot of people's favorite. So it's a product that the validity and maintain fluid in normal balance. Angel drinks, refreshing, invigorating, and exciting. Angel products is by Adonko Soft Drinks Beverages Limited. It tastes like our day. It says that recommended for all, including children. Contact them on 02448 322 86 and 050-7878-668. Okay, so we will go straight into Akosombo. There was a story that I saw. I actually saw the story yesterday, and I'll pick it this morning. It says Akosombo Dam spillage. Flood victim resorts to using polluted water. There is danger ahead for thousands of residents in parts of the Volta region affected by the floods caused by spilled water from the Akosombo and Bong dams. This is because some of the displaced persons in the north and south Tong in the Volta region are resorting to using polluted water for some of the chores. Now, the flooding of the area did not only displace residents and destroy the livelihood, but also led to the Ghana Water Company in the region shutting down. And if you've seen some of the pictures, there are some sites that the water are covered. So if either water or electricity, it will shut down. The Queen Mother of the Zokwe in the North Town district of the Volta region, Mamaga Ajizu, is worried residents may show signs of infection soon if the polluted water situation is not addressed immediately. There is a okay, I think I'll pick that video later, but for now, let's leave it. There's Butre Raw Water documentary done by our own Henry Kwesibedu. So we'll retrieve that video and, play it maybe in good time as we go on with the discussion. The water is highly polluted and have to come to our aid. And we went for a meeting on Sunday, and the MP suggested we use the Agohome Dam. That one will be able to sterilize it. He mentioned some chemicals the VR is supposed to buy so that they will be able to open the tap intermittently. But I'm speaking now, but as I'm speaking now, the tap is not flowing, and for weeks now we don't have water. We need to drink, bath, wash, and cook. So what water are we going to use? Well, these are all quotes from the Queen Mother. My fear is that after this, then sickness will start coming in. And I told you, I actually had an interview with a doctor who indicated how the sickness of this nature, a breakout, right, of this nature, start with a short term. What can happen now? They will deal with the medium term, and then eventually we'll have to deal with sickness that will come in the long term. So I'll pick this from the Daily Guide. It says that dam spillage, all stakeholders engaged in simulation exercise, VRA. Daily Guide says it's in page 6. I want to read the details of it. The Water River Authority says that there was a comprehensive simulation exercise on evacuation with all stakeholders in the affected communities of the Akonsombo Dam spillage for the opening of the dam. Before the decision to spill, VRA held a simulation exercise dubbed Downhustle 2023 in May 23 to help ensure all the relevant stakeholders were prepared for the flood-related event. The exercise tested the emergency response procedures and capabilities of relevant stakeholders, and lessons from the exercise were noted to improve response preparedness. The simulation exercise was conducted concurrently at 3 district assemblies, namely Isujaman, Ada East, North Tong, while complementary simulation took place in the 6 remaining districts. The main objective was to test response to the spillage of 5,000 to 10,000 metric tons of water from the Akonsombo Dam, resulting in the extensive flooding of the downstream. Okay, this is cubic of water, so 5,000 to 10,000 cubic. Now, there was dry run from the established national and district emergency operation centers to test the emergency communication channels. And important information regarding the exercise was also relayed to relevant relief agency personnel. The people in the communities were taken through training on how to evacuate their homes, in addition to the first aid and safety responses for early warning and notification. They also worked with the relief agency personnel on the process of search and rescue of trapped victims in flooded areas during the potential spillage scenario. There was also a simulation on the evacuation of trapped victims to designated safe havens from communities with higher risk of flooding. Mepe was identified as one of the communities with high exposure to the flooding. Therefore, the ECC was set up within Mepe with the district chief executive, Divine Osborne, Fenu, at the helm of the simulation exercise. Relief agency personnel from the simulation exercise took their time to explain all communication and evacuation protocols to the people of Mepe. Simulations to, this is rubbed off, so I don't know what is written there, but it says that real life, okay, maybe the simulation mimic the real life situation, such as the voluntary evacuation, first aid, search and rescue activities, among others, were successfully carried out with the selected members of Mepe community, while the rest of the town members looked on and asked questions. So as part of its emergency preparedness plan, VRA also allocated funds to support the purchase of relief items by the National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO. This was to ensure that there would be financial support for the immediate evacuation and relief efforts by flood scenario. The ongoing controlled spilling from the Akonsombo Dam has been carried out on the incremental basis, such as September 15, 2023, starting gradually from 20,000 cubic feet per second to the current level of 180,000 cubic feet per second. Remember that I had already mentioned that an earlier simulation exercise, they use 5,000 to 10,000 cubic feet to do the simulation exercise. Right. And they're now spilling up to about 180,000 cubic feet. Okay. So this is unfortunate because the rainfall pattern changed significantly from the prior years. Okay. Apologies. From the prior years, and continued to fill up the dam to critical levels. Now, as the controlled spilling continues, VRA has vowed to do its absolute best in helping the victims in the affected communities. In addition to funds they have allocated to NADMO, they have already provided 820 bags of rice, 487 cartons of canned food, 7,400 kilograms of legumes, cereals, and nuts, 350 cartons of provisions and oils, 5,400 bags of sachet water, with more to come. Medical supplies and drugs worth over 1 million Ghana cedis have been available to target diseases such as cholera, enteric fever, dysentery, worm infestations, skin infections, snake bites, malaria, and respiratory diseases. I've actually read the whole story as captured by Daily Guide because it has all details that I think I need. But in the studio with me now is the Honourable Member of Parliament for Sisala East Constituency, and he doubles as Deputy Minister for Sanitation and Water Resources, Honourable Amidu. Chinia Ishaku, welcome.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. And you?
I'm okay.
Thank God.
I'm not as good as you, maybe.
Oh.
Because you shouldn't be good by now. I expected you to say, Annie, I'm not good.
Oh. Why?
Okay, let's just say that you have seen the light, so you're good. Daylight is best.
Shall I enjoy it?
Let's stop that.
Look at this.
Stop
your
mischief. You started mischief.
Anyway, so I hear we're calling some lawyers to the bar today, right? So maybe at the right time we'll mention a few names. But for now, let me welcome you once again.
Thank you.
What have you? I'll start with you, even though you came, or maybe.
Yeah, because he's in government, so he will be able to. And water resources and natural. What is your position?
Sanitation.
Sanitation. All these things.
I wanted to pick
so
your
you'll be able to
mind.
give us a picture.
I wanted.
While you're giving them good water.
No, but let him settle. I wanted to pick your mind a bit.
Okay.
On the technicalities of that part that I read, or how this simulation exercise was done, how the people were educated, and from the story as captured by Daily Guide, it looks like they rate the exercise done pre the spillage as quite effective. That we probably, I suppose that if it was that good, we wouldn't have been, or we shouldn't have been where we are today.
So thank you very much, Annie. And then good morning to your viewers. Good morning to my colleague. It's a long time I saw him, but he's looking good, just as you said, looking very good, and I'm happy for him.
I didn't say he's looking good.
Okay, but I've seen that he's looking good. But Annie, likely enough, the last time we did this spillage was in 2010. And in 2010, I happened to have been in the ministry. I remember that beyond just what the VRA did. The ministry also had a program that was led by me myself. We went around all the various catchment districts in the Volta region and then Esujaman area to elected assemblies on the consequences of some of these things. But you see, Annie, for every dam there's a capacity that you can have, the maximum capacity you can have. Originally, when the dam was constructed, the total capacity that it could take, the highest level it could go was 276 feet. But somewhere, I think the late 90s, yes, just late 90s, there was a study that was done that suggested that the dam could do 2 feet more. So it means that it could take up to about 278 feet. But usually, you don't wait till you hit the 278 before you start spilling. The reason is that when you hit the 278, you have reached the maximum. And anything can happen. It can compromise the integrity of the dam.
Because it originally had the 276
276, but the study said that we could adjust it to 278. So VRA was doing that for obvious reasons, because the moment you have a higher height, then what it also means is that your ability to produce more electricity becomes good.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
And so they always flirted around those numbers.
But what was the technical explanation for the 2 feet you could add?
Oh no, it's just a study. Then they realized that based on the construction, the engineering, they could actually.
It means you can even add 2 feet. Okay, so it's not that you actually technically added anything.
No.
Okay.
It's just that when they studied, they realized that they could do that.
Right.
Now, you will realize that because of those things. Now, if you look at the past 3 years, in the past 3 years, we've had more than average rainfalls. So it is not just a one-off season that has created this problem for us. It is that over the years, we have had enough water in those dams. The only lack in this whole arrangement, and I'll come to the details of the only lack in this arrangement, if you look at the three main sources of the Volta Lake, is the red Volta, the white Volta, and the black Volta. Currently, it is only the red Volta and the white Volta that is coming into what they call it. That's coming into the Volta Lake. The black Volta Lake. Yes, the black Volta luckily is because Bui has been black Volta has been dumped. That's why we call the Bui Dam. And so currently Bui is not that full, and so you don't have water from, because it is when Bui becomes full and they then decide to spill, then the water then ends up at the Volta Lake. So currently the two sources that where we are getting the water from is the white Volta and the red Volta. So that is I'm just trying to tell you the lag that we got. Now, anytime you have this water going up to, say, at the time when they started the spilling, it was 277. There are two effects. The first effect is that at the northern part of the dam, you will have increases in water levels, and flooding will come there. And so, like I was talking to my whip yesterday, I drew his attention to something. I said, look, as we speak now, communities like Pru East, Sine East, Krachi in Churumbutu, Krachi East, Krachi West, Pandai, Bui, Kusowo, all those areas are flooded. So it's just that we are just seeing the effect of it at the downside, and which is when you spill.
Yeah.
So that's what we are getting. So that is the first thing. So the first thing is that the result of this is that you are going to have this flooding at both sides. Two, the unfortunate problem we've also had is that over some period now, beyond for some time now, VRA has not been able to dredge the estuary around that area. You know, when you dredge it, then it can contain more water. And the reason why VRA too, unfortunately, has not been able to do that is because of the fact that there are some brothers and sisters of ours who have decided to go to place an injunction on that particular activity.
Of the dredging?
Dredging, yeah. So VRA has not been able to dredge. Because the more you dredge, if you dredge, you can contain more of those water that will be spilled. But unfortunately, the dredging has not been done.
So this is litigation problem.
There's a litigation problem there. There's an injunction on the activity. So that is yet another problem.
Okay.
So, yes, so that is what happens. Now so I'm just trying to give you that. The first part of my submission is just to draw your attention to the necessity of it. Because the alternative is that if you have a dam that can take water up to about 15 billion cubic meters of water, just imagine when it breaks, what is going to happen. Libya did not have anything lower than up to this, because remember that Volta Lake is the third largest man-made lake in the world. So if you have a situation where Volta Lake breaks, because look at Libya's own, the dam that gave way, about 19,000 people died. So you cannot even dream of it. People have given a situation that seems to suggest that, assuming that the dam were to break, touch wood, not only in the Volta, the Trenton constituencies that you are going to get, Tama will be wiped out. Adenta will be wiped out. That is how bad it can be. And so the alternative is not something that we can contemplate. So the technical aspect, I understand why VRA has to spill. Now, how did we prepare for this? That is the issue that has to come. I saw that you laughed when you came to the simulation. Now you have a situation where you were simulating with a spill of between 5 and 10,000. Mm-hmm. Now you are actually spilling 183,000 cubic feet per second. And simulation is always creating the reality in a mock stage, is that not it? Mm-hmm. So what you simulated is not what you're experiencing. Right. Because you are experiencing, it seems, almost 30 or 40 times what you are making. And so your preparedness will not be the same, mm-hmm. or the community's preparedness will not be the same. That's the first point. 2, you have been aware of this challenge over the period. What were the funding and other logistical arrangements that were made towards this? Because you knew that in the past 3 years, that the fact that the water was always coming and the levels were going up. And they themselves had acknowledged, and that's why they started some of them. So what were the logistics that were made available by the state? That is the other area. Now you have two major, organizations that will have to, or maybe let me use the word 3, that will have to deal with some of these things. We have VRA, that has to deal because they are the cause of the problem. You have NADMO that have been established by law to take care of disasters like this and emergencies like this. And you have the district assemblies who also have a responsibility because these people fall under some municipalities and districts. Let's start with NADMO and the assemblies. If NADMO has to work, NADMO has to work because they have resources to be able to get all the various things they need. NADMO can only work when they have money. Now, if you look, and my brother is here, both of us are in Parliament. As per the law, 5% of the District Assembly's Common Fund is supposed to be allocated to, what do they call them? NADMO every quarter. You understand my point? So for every quarter, 5% of the global figure, that's the total amount of money that is voted for, the District Assembly's Common Fund, is supposed to go to NADMO. NADMO, as we speak now, the government owes them not less than 6 quarters in terms of money that they have to give to them. So they are cash strapped, they are broke. That's the first point. Yeah. The assemblies, they only operate based on 2 major sources of funding, apart from the donor ones that they do. They call it the donor funded something, the DFF or D something. But they have 2 major sources of funding. The IGF, they raise themselves, and the District Assembly's Common Fund. They are equally in arrears of about 6-7 quarters that they have not paid. And so even if you tell them a year, 2 years ahead, and they don't have money to really educate the people, train the people, tell people how to be ready, maybe get places where they can rescue these people too, all you are doing is useless because they don't have the money. Indeed, on TV, I don't know which of the stations, one of the DCEs openly just say, yes, we were told about this problem, but we do not even have money to get to the people. Are you getting the drift I'm trying to do? So the funding of these two particular critical institutions, that the assemblies and NADMO, has been very terrible. It is a mark of this current government and how our resources have been mismanaged. And in fact, these are supposed to be, these are guaranteed by law. That, for example, if you take your total revenue, the total revenue says that if you take X, this is the amount I got 100 Ghana cedis. The law says that even before you contemplate buying pure water, a percentage should go to this assembly's common fund. So you have to take, so it's mandatory. How come that is not being done? And in fact, my brother is also here. The last budget that was read, when Parliament threatened and told them very clearly that unless they pay the District Assembly's common fund, they give some releases to the assemblies. We're not going to listen to the Minister for Finance in terms of what they call his budget. You know what he did? He decided to go and borrow money from Access Bank to pay this Assembly's common fund. When it is that the total, if you get 100 Ghana cedis, there's a percentage that goes to this Assembly's common fund. So that is a mark of this current government. Now, VRE, I understand the fact that, look, if you look at the individuals who are involved, there are a group of people within that who would have been encroachers. And when I use the word encroachers, you know, when the dam was constructed, there were some areas that had been demarcated, and the issue was that they were supposed to relocate. Compensations were paid and other things. Yeah. But people have still encroached into those areas. And therefore, they are creating problems. That's one area.
Where they ask them to move out of.
Yes. So, for example, you know that this is an area that you are not supposed to, because there's a spillway. Yeah. Yeah. Remember that there's a spillway. Yeah. And if there's a spillway, they make sure that all communities in those areas, they make sure that they stay off those areas. So we have those ones. But if you look at this current flooding, it goes beyond just those who encroached the spillway. It also has to do with people who do not fall under that particular catchment area. Yeah. And therefore, because of the levels of water, it has affected all these people. There's a fund that is called the Volta River Authority Resettlement Fund. That is managed, is established by law, and that is also managed by a board of trustees. I am not too sure to what extent that fund is being, or whether even that fund, how much is in that fund. These days, we've come to realize that
even if it's active.
Yes, we've come to realize that almost every fund, whether it is a sinking fund, it is a stabilization fund, is a heritage you have not seen yet, because that's when they have not come to Parliament. So we are hoping that they have not touched it. But almost every fund, they are just cannibalizing every fund, and so you are not too sure exactly what they are doing. So I don't know how they are, but I've seen that they have mentioned the issues of the fact that they've given about some medications adding to the tune of about 1 million and counting. They've given some logistics. They've given it to NADMO.
So this is what he said about what they've given to NADMO. As part of the emergency preparedness plan, VRA also allocated funds to support the purchase of relief items by National Disaster Management Organization. How do you do that? I mean, when you were in that ministry and you did your simulation exercise, how did you do purchase of items maybe for affected victims? Did you collaborate? Did all the stakeholders bring on board funds, to purchase items, or level. You gave funds to?
First and foremost, let me admit publicly, the levels of spillage in 2010 is not comparable to this. This is the highest we've gotten in about 40 years. So I would not pretend and sit here and say that, they were this and this house. So the levels are not the same. So the challenges will not be the same. Now, in all those, the spillage that was done at that time, mostly it was just those who were in the encroached areas, in the spillway, that had challenges, and therefore they needed to be relocated. And when they were relocated, assemblies took care of them. VRA also did. NADMO equally did. I cannot recall as to whether they put them in a central pool and distributed. I'm not sure I can remember what exactly. But basically, I believe that the challenges now are more than that of 2010. That is a statement of fact. You understand my point? But see, you have stated something, the attendant problems of these things. The first problem that this thing will have is the issues of diseases. And these diseases, for example, if you take the issue of cholera, it will come because the people will not have water that is potable enough to drink. because I am told that it is this thing. The water has swept into even what do they call them? Places of convenience, cemeteries, and things like that. And so, obviously, you will not have very wholesome water. This comes with also the problem of bilharzia, because that is very common. That will come. Malaria will come. You understand? So there are a lot of other diseases that will come. As to whether government has really prepared towards that, it's a challenge. And that's why a number of people are calling for the president to declare a state of emergency, because of the fact that with the state of emergency, there are some powers and other things that are given to you to do some expenditure. Yeah. I get the point. Yeah. And even government cannot also pretend and say that because parliament is not in session, that's why maybe they are not declaring a state of emergency. Remember that all state of emergency must be approved by parliament. But we've had situations where state of emergencies are declared and they just come to parliament for ratification. And so it is still possible that they could have done that. And so I don't know why the president is hesitating in doing that. But I can understand. You see, your attitude towards, if you zero down your duties to the state and the duty to the citizens based on who likes you, who doesn't like you, who votes for you, who doesn't vote for you. This is the problem that you encounter. You then come to a situation where even the constitutional provisions that tells you that you must treat everybody and every citizen and every region and every district equally and equitably, you will be defying that. And I said this, and you know why I'm making this point. I am making this point because, in my very humble opinion, at a time when you have citizens suffering, at a time when people have lost their livelihood, look, already our unemployment rate is about 30% and above. The northwards of what, 30%. 2, so people do not have jobs, and people who you have had people who have lost their investments and other things, maybe through this their farming, because of this DDEP that government had done, because they have put investments and other things, they've lost them. Then the small things that they are doing, they've lost those ones to people. We're talking about people with fish pond. You know, they do a lot of fish pond, fish farming and other things there. This water has messed up all their investments. And the last thing you think about when you get there to visit them after a long period, because this was a situation that came, it now took you God knows how many days or to now go on an aircraft to be looking and finally go and land in a place and to, excuse my language, to utter these words. And you see, words that said, that, look, I know you don't vote for me, but I know you don't vote for me, but if it is based on the fact that it's about voting, I wouldn't have been here. You see, this is not you see, there's timing for everything. There's timing in life for everything. Is it wrong timing or is the statement he made? See, or both? It's wrong timing and the statement he made. You see, Annie, for example, touch wood, you can run into a problem. And when you run into a problem, everybody knows that the problem you've run into, you may have caused it. I'm just giving you just an example. By the time of talking to you, because you are still in that problem, nobody goes on telling you that you did this, you did this. They first will want to see how they can get you out of the problem. And then they cannot tell you that, oh, maybe this was the reason why you did this. But even in this case, it's not even up to that level. Then you have such excuse my language, for want of a better word, a reckless statement coming from the president. I think it was unfortunate, it was ill-advised, and I think that his handlers should begin to ensure that he does not speak unscripted, because anytime he speaks unscripted, he seems to go wayward, and when he speaks, he devalues the office of the presidency if it is unscripted. And so if I'm one of his handlers, I will be advising that henceforth, anytime he's going to speak, let them write from the day to the full stop. Oh, but the recent one he did, maybe including scripting, because the recent one he did at the Ghana Bar Association conference, which was condemned. The one he went and Yes.
Yes, which was condemned by the Bar Association.
Yes.
Was scripted. So I'm telling you, I'm just adding to what I'm telling you that.
Keep making it that.
I'm telling you that it's both script and unscripted.
He's just a personification of bad words that come out. Maybe that is it. You see, because of the office of the presidency, I'm very careful and measured as to how I would describe him. If it was any other person, I would have gone to town with him. But just for the fact that he occupies that particular office, I am careful as to what I say. But I think that the least I can say in this is that it was very reckless. Then you have the person who is the person that, I don't know, you were following Alan, or who were you with?
I'm an MPP.
Or is it Kennedy Japan?
I'm MPP.
He has warned all of you. You see? But you then have Bawumia then come. And then he comes and starts talking. You know, he talks. You see, you know that man, he lives in some cuckoo's land. You see, he talks, and anytime he talks, he's in another world. At the time, the people that we are talking about re-engineering, that we have to sit down against stakeholders to look at the re-engineering of what and what, he talks of this big English. The people are sitting down there. Some of them cannot eat. Some of them have no clothes. I was listening to one of the radio stations where when they asked the gentleman, what is it that you know the two things he mentioned? Food and water. Food and water.
Because for now, that's the need now.
Food and water. Now you get up and you go there, you speak your big English, and you go and give 160,000 Ghana cedis to the people. You go and give 160,000 Ghana cedis. Meanwhile, just one campaign, you go and sit at a place and you spend more than 160,000 Ghana cedis. These are the people you want to come and pretend over. You want to come and
but that's, a little petty.
It's not petty.
It is.
Do you know why I'm saying it's not petty? Look, I don't know about your media house. I don't know about your media house. I've seen media houses mobilize resources.
Yes, yes. We're all doing that. Hands on deck. But listen, this is not money, public funds. This is from his private pocket. He's been, hold on, let's be fair. He's been on campaign for months now. Maybe he has spent so much that he doesn't have a lot to spend.
So do you want us to have a bet on
from his
how
pocket.
much he's going to give to delegates on the 4th of November? Do you want us to have a bet on that?
No, I don't want us to have a bet.
I'm desperately looking for money. So let's have a bet on that.
Politicians are always looking for money and sponsors. I saw this headline.
The point is that
the Femeko slums Bawumia for donating only 160,000.
You know something?
And I'm wondering why you describing because he said he gave Sierra Leone 12 million Ghana cedis.
You see, for the mass slide that happened in that place, 12 million. Your own citizens. It took you God knows how long to even visit them. Then you get there after speaking big English. All you did was to give them 160,000 Ghana cedis. You saw that guy who's been doing this in what do you call it? Supporting the kidney.
First Sky.
You saw what the guy went there and did. Items worth about $1 million. Insurance cover of about 2.5 million. This is just one individual. And all of us know. Everybody knows. He says that he has contributed. You remember on this, he has said that he has contributed more than any other person in building churches and other things in Ghana. There are audios to that effect. I'm just trying to make the point that basically it appears in this government, yes, the current flooding is huge. But I think we had enough time to be able to prepare for it. Our simulation that we used was wrong, and therefore the outcome will definitely be wrong. The meteorological services had indicated very clearly to VRA that they were going to experience this. They never took it seriously. So I am just giving you the sense that, look, one, we empathize with the victims of this particular flood. Two, we believe that VRA necessarily will have to spill, or else the alternative is very dangerous. Three, I believe that the state institutions that are responsible for handling this have not been properly financed because of the fact that the state or maybe the government has decided to dissipate almost every funds. And last but not the least, I think that the leadership itself have not shown that they really care about the people.
And I know that once we have a resettlement fund, there should be a resettlement plan. Is there?
No, so you see, the resettlement plan was all part of. No, the resettlement plan was all part of the
building of
the construction of that. So that's how people were relocated. You understand? People were relocated from wherever they find themselves in. No. So those things are there. But you see,
has there been any time in your time when you were in the ministry that it's come up that what if we get to a point where we have to spill, as we're looking at 180,000 cubic feet of water, which we know will cover a lot of the communities around? Has there been any projection of that nature that we will project and then plan into that area?
I think part of the planning.
Did you ever do anything like that?
Part of the planning, other things, is the fact that consistently over the period since the dam, that intermittently the canal. The canal is dredged. The estuary where the water then makes to then go into the is dredged. These things are done to be able to take in the higher volumes of those things. Unfortunately, over some period now, VRA has not been able to do it.
Why? I
just told you that part of it, I can't say it is wholly, but part of it is as a result of the fact that some inhabitants have decided to place an injunction on that activity. I get the point I'm making. And so that has been part of the challenge that we have.
That litigation, how long has it lasted?
I'm not too sure. Maybe when he's speaking, I'll go and I'll search for it and then get. But I know there is a litigation before that. And sometimes, unfortunately, I believe that you see these accords, they create some of the problems that we have. Unfortunately, the judiciary has just lost its focus. You have a situation where people come to place an injunction on an activity like this. There must be a fast resolution of this problem. I don't know that you're getting the point. There must be a fast resolution of this problem. The fact that you grant the injunction, then you must move on to see how you can deal with this issue in the court. You leave it. The authority is not able to do the dredging. And now I'm not saying
we're dealing with
the dredging would have at least softened the blow. To have done that, and we've not been able to do that.
Okay.
Sometimes our courts are also part of the problem.
Okay, Honourable Minister, I will take a breather so I don't need to interrupt. So let me take a break, and then when we come back, he can also have a bit of some technical inputs from where he's coming from. We're back shortly. You're still watching. Good morning.
Mr. Ambedu.
Good afternoon, Mr. Asari.
How is business doing?
My business is collapsing.
Why is your business collapsing?
I sold my products and services to my clients on credit, and my debtors are not paying their debts.
Have you heard of Rosic Consult Limited, a debt recovery company operating in all the 16 regions of Ghana?
Not at all.
Mr. Ampedu, all you need to do is to contact them on their customer service line. I recommend Rosic Consult Limited, a debt recovery company to financial institutions, businessmen and businesswomen, other companies, and also individuals. Rosic Consult has 98.4% debt recovery rate. We have professional debt recovery managers. You are assured of swift debt recovery. No recovery, no commission. For Rosic Consult Limited, no more write-offs. And we pre-finance the recovery ourselves.
Ready for something refreshing and great tasting? For your kids' enjoyment?
Angel Cola.
For your graduation enjoyment?
Angel Cola.
Beach hangout?
Angel Cola.
For all your refreshing moments.
Angel Cola.
For your parties, get-togethers, events, and celebrations, enjoy a chilled bottle of Angel Cola.
Radio Grandma, today is your day. Over to you.
Thank you.
Enjoyment Cola.
Angel Cola.
The Enjoyment Cola. Enjoy all your moments and fun time with Angel Cola. This advert is FDA approved.
Inside Black Star Press Limited. Grow inside the invective minds, evolving concepts, and the creative trends. The printing press you need now. Witness the beauty, diversity, and natural wonder with our works. Inside Black Star Press Limited, in association with Lionhead Group of Companies. Call us now on 0200-880-000 for all your print works. Black Star Press Limited, a worldwide reputation for quality printing.
Enjoy the fruits of your labor, they say. But as humans, aging and physical infirmity stands our way of enjoying our mansions and homes. It often becomes challenging, if not impossible, to use our stairways day in, day out. With portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators, PVs, you are assured of unlimited enjoyment of your mansions and homes. It's a self-supported elevator for vertical movement of humans and goods at homes and offices. The original comes in 3 custom-made models with wheelchair accessibility. Call it luxury, but it's a necessary imperative for vertical mobility. Do not let aging or infirmity limit you. Get one for your easy vertical mobility at home. It's affordable and can be installed in just 3 days without modification to your existing building. It's however easier to incorporate it at the construction stage. We also have traditional Fuji elevators and escalators for your high-rise buildings and malls. Visit Lifts and Elevators Company Limited at Sakumono for your elevators nationwide. For free consultation to call or WhatsApp us on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators, the elevator people.
Betway is your gateway to a theme park full of gaming excitement. A whirlpool of wonder where your favorite games come to life. Where you can take to the skies with max payouts that reach into the millions. All in the palm of your hand. Visit betway.com.gh. Terms and conditions apply. Betway is regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. No under 18. Bet responsibly. Betway. Bet your way.
In life, choice is good, but choice plus safety is way better. Your safety and comfort is paramount. Under the cylinder recirculation model, you can buy LPG in a safe environment. All cylinders are inspected and maintained to the best safety standards, so your safety is assured. Just take your empty cylinder to the nearest exchange point and swap it for a filled cylinder. Different cylinder sizes will be available to meet your pocket size. Imagine cooking in a smoke-free environment. This will improve the health and well-being of you and your family. Choose LPG in a safer model of distribution. Cylinder recirculation model. Securing your safety, creating more jobs. A message from the National Petroleum Authority under the patronage of the Ministry of Energy.
Step into success with Accra Business School. Boost your career with a prestigious MSc degrees from KNUST. Pick from Human Resource Management, Communication and International Relations, Public Affairs. In just 12 months, our MBA can be yours. Dive into our BSc programs in IT Security and Cybercrime, IT Management and Business and Management, endorsed by top universities in Ireland and Wales. We offer flexible entry, payment and learning options. It's time to unlock your potential and take flight. Visit www.abs.edu.gh or dial 0263 888 555. Let Accra Business School elevate your future today.
Over 18 years in business, Appointed Time Printing Limited has delivered quality service to some of Ghana's well-known brands. With our equipment capacity, we are able to deliver 1,500 pieces of polo and t-shirts in 1 hour. This is only possible with us. For retailers and wholesalers, we offer for sale high-quality polo shirts and t-shirts in different colors at affordable prices. We have a one-stop shop for all creative designs and billboards, 3D signages, flexi banners, car branding, stickers and posters. Locate us at the old GNTC building near Swansea Shopping Arcade, Accra. Contact us on 0501 454165, 0501 454167. Connect with us on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook at Appointed Time GH. Appointed Time Printing Limited. Our printing is a
All right, you're welcome back. Let me just use this time to congratulate a few people before we go on to the next discussion. That has to do with our friends and colleagues that are being called to the bar today. To be honest, congratulations to you. That's the reason why we sometimes respect a lot of lawyers, because it's a lot of work. I'm telling you, it's a lot of work. Sometimes you start, you put it on hold. You start, you put it on hold. But yeah, so those are some of the pictures, some of the young guys that we're working with in politics, in the media. So that's Samia Oku in your picture. He is actually the boss for National Lotteries Authority, Director General. Nanama Asante also there. Earlier on, you also saw the Member of Parliament for Ota, for Vincent Asefwa. No, she's now being called. Nanama.
No, I'm talking of
Vincent.
No, this one. Samia Oku.
No.
He just been called.
Yes, he's been called.
All along, I thought he had been called.
No, it was in school.
Okay.
He's being called now, and then also Member of Parliament for Ota for Vincent Asefwa. He used to be the PRO for the Education Ministry before he actually became an MP. One of the new entrants in Parliament. Now, my own colleague at Multimedia, Kwabna Fojo, he's also a producer. He's actually been in the classroom for some years now. Fojo, I'm so proud of you, and I'm so happy for you. We'll celebrate this later. So you just go and take your calling for now, and then later in the day we'll meet up. And may God bless you and protect you in this, next stage that you are actually going to take. Let's hope that you can use it to help build this country, Ghana. Congratulations to all the lawyers, all the past students that are being called to the bar this morning. All right, we'll get into that. You want to say a word or two for them? Yeah, or two.
I'll join you in also congratulating them.
Yeah.
My colleague Vincent, who is my next door neighbor in Parliament.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we are very good friends. And then my boss, Samia Woku, and all those who are. But particularly, let me congratulate some two people from my constituency who are also being called to the bar.
Oh, okay.
Yusuf Tondia, popularly called Destiny, is a brother of mine, and I thank God that he has come this far. Hanef Bipwa, my wife's brother, my in-law, I mean, he's also been called to the bar. So I congratulate both of them for this feat they have chalked. And to all those who are being called to the bar today, I congratulate you all. Let me say good morning to my colleague, Honorable Bawa, and to the people of Sisala East who are listening to us this morning on Sisala Radio. I want to express my sympathies to the people who have been affected by this spillage. It's a massive destruction. It's a massive setback. And it's going to take quite a number of months, if not years, for these people to be restored to where they were before these floods. Their buildings are affected. Their farms have been affected. Everything that determines their livelihood has been affected. So you can imagine the magnitude of the setback. It's unimaginable, and I express my sympathies to them. But we thank God that so far I've not heard of any life lost. I mean, that would have been the worst situation. If you lose property and you are safe, one can say that it's still better, because it is the life that will, once there's life in you, you have another opportunity to fight back, to restore whatever you have lost. But once you lose your life, then it means that there is no future anymore. And you can imagine a parent dying and they affect the consequences on the young ones they will be leaving behind and all that. Or children dying and leaving their parents. I mean, because the first property of any human being is your children. I mean, if you have story buildings, any amount of money, and you lose your children, you won't feel worth it living in this world. So even though we are so sad of the situation, but we still thank God that no life has been lost, because that would have been the worst situation, and it would have been more devastating if we had gotten to that level. From records, this is about the 10th time that we are recording this spillage, but out of the 10, this has been the worst, because the volumes of water that has been spilled is more than any other spillage that we have recorded in the past. And I quite agree with my colleague when he said that, and yourself, when you said that the simulation exercise that was done and the volume of water that was used to do the simulation relative to the actual that came. I mean, the difference is so vast that you don't expect any positive effect of the simulation. I mean, if you were expecting a volume of 10,000 meters cube, and now you are experiencing over 100,000, and the difference is such that the people cannot relate the effect of the simulation to the actual situation.
Not even the people. You yourselves as technical people. The technical question I wanted to ask Bawa is, if you conduct simulation exercise, how do you do it? Do you measure the reality against the simulation where, okay, then let's use a simulation exercise that could be worse or that is worse than what we are actually going to do?
Yeah, so
is my question clear? I'm just trying to.
Usually it's mimicking. Let me give you a typical example. Simulation, mostly you see them mostly in engineering, and that's why you have VR, or maybe in the military and what have you. Assuming that the military wants to come and take over this place, they may not have access to this place, but they will create an environment that looks like
mimics
this,
here,
like this, and then they will use that to simulate. So anytime they get here, they know exactly what happened. So usually you tend to mimic what the actual will be, and you get as close as possible to what the actual is like.
So you mimic close as possible.
Yes.
You don't mimic more than.
No, you see, so close as possible can be less or more. You understand my point? But when you
but to be safer, wouldn't it be wiser to do more?
Yeah, no.
Than the actual.
You may not really know what the situation looks like, but obviously, VRA would have had all the facts. They would have had.
I will not agree if you say that.
No, I'm coming. VRA. Let me make a point.
The reason I'm saying that is, we're looking at the capacity of 276 feet.
Yes.
And it was, we added 2 feet to it.
So yes.
And the water has risen way above 2 feet.
Yeah.
So we know the water magnitude in the dam now.
Yes.
So we cannot say.
But the simulation was not, if you know, the simulation was not just this year. If you read what the VRA is saying, the simulation was somewhere like last year on, they started preparing.
They started preparing.
Preparing
but they started spilling just in September.
Yeah, no, I'm saying the simulation. So the point I'm just trying to make is that usually when you are going to conduct a simulation, you first will have fair idea about what the facts are in actual sense.
Okay.
That, oh, this is the amount I'm going to spill. This is what it will, the area it will cover. These are the people that will do. So you look at that and use that as a scenario to do the simulation.
Okay.
The point I'm just making is that they were way off because maximum of about 10,000 cubic feet right? per second, as compared to 183. In fact, the thing says 180, but actually it's 183,000. 183,000 cubic feet
square meter
per second.
Water.
It is so vast that they cannot, you cannot transpose that on the reality.
Okay.
That's the point I'm making.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like I was saying, the simulation that was done relative to the actual, the difference is so vast that you can clearly see that it was not possible for the people to withstand or to apply what was achieved during the simulation to the actual because of the vast difference in the amount of water that was coming. But I think that there is a historical issue that we need to deal with because all these things are avoidable if we are disciplined as a society and we comply with laws. But the fact is that Ghanaians everywhere and any part of Ghana, we don't adhere to what is supposed to be done. We wait, and when there is trouble, then we turn the heat on government and authorities. But when the authorities are insisting for the right thing to be done, we, the same people who will be affected eventually, will fight the system. Otherwise, I mean, there is enough evidence to show that a lot of the people where they live in any serious spillage. And I am sure that in the time past, there have been efforts to relocate some of them who have resisted. And if they had complied with authorities, I am sure that the number of people who are affected today wouldn't have the same number being affected because there are many of them who are living in places they shouldn't live, considering the location of the dump. Because anytime a dump is going to be constructed, even if you are living in a location that there is a potential to be hit in terms of overflow, such people are relocated.
You remember when the Bui Dam
was being constructed?
What did we do to the people?
They were relocated.
To where?
Oh, they were, what is it, government constructed buildings for them.
Thank you. So these people, they should have relocated to where?
I am sure, I mean, this dam was constructed somewhere in 1965. And I'm sure as part of that process, there was, I don't know the history, but I'm sure that people would have been relocated. But you know, as time goes on, these same people will go and develop in areas they shouldn't develop.
You know, when the Bui Dam was being constructed, I personally went there as a news person. In fact, authorities went with some media people and I was part of them. We saw how it was difficult to even move the people, but government made available, that even made it easier because there was an alternative for them to move in. That's where they live. That's where they've lived their whole life. Yes. So when you ask them to move, you want them to move to where? When we're building cathedral, we asked judges to move, but we moved them into other places because that's where they live. So when you ask people to move, you need to provide an alternative before you ask them to move. No. They will be reluctant because they don't have anywhere to move to.
And listen to me. When Bui Dam was being constructed, as part of the project, government had to relocate people, and government built alternative structures and relocated them. Now, with time, I am telling you, with time, people, either those same people or other people, would find themselves in areas within the Bui catchment area that will pose a danger to their own lives at the blind side of government. Mm-hmm. But when the danger comes, government gets the fire back. I am sure that most of these people that we are talking of, at the time of the construction of the Akosombo Dam, were not located there. Or if they were located there were efforts to relocate them, and probably they were relocated. But with time, they move in there, and then the blame now comes on government. So I am saying that
I think how you are doing your delivery is making me a bit itchy. Governments conduct census exercises every 10 years, don't they? We know that.
I think you should allow me to.
I'll allow you.
In Accra,
I'll allow you.
No,
we
listen,
know that population.
Even in Accra, in the developed cities, people go to build at places they shouldn't build. Is that not the case?
That's because you fail to monitor.
But it is your duty. If you go and build on waterway, and they go and ride there, and then at the end of the day, you compromise some state authorities and they'll allow you to build, and then when there is disaster, then you, the same person, will turn around to blame the authorities. Even in Accra. So that indiscipline is not just about people who have constructed around Akosombo Dam. Even in Accra, in Kumasi, in our cities, people are constructing in areas they shouldn't construct. Sometimes at the blind side of government authorities, sometimes with the support of some government authorities. So I'm just making the point that what has happened is unfortunate, but it's avoidable. And it's avoidable if the citizens themselves are disciplined and state agencies are playing their role well. It must be determined by both sides that the citizens are being responsible and state agencies are also acting appropriately. When both sides fail, then you have these kind of disasters. And you can imagine if we had recorded deaths. So I'm just saying that what has happened is unfortunate, and the state needs to organize, to give them relief, to give them support. And one or two most important things that we need to look at the moment is supply of water to the people, and then issues of sanitation. Mm-hmm. That certainly involves my ministry. If you look at the level of destruction, there are some areas that you cannot go at all because all the roads are cut off. And their water systems and their boreholes are all compromised. And so even if the borehole is there, but looking at the amount of water that has flooded there and the filtration that has gone on, if you pump water from such a borehole and you take it directly, you can be sure that it can have health implication on your system. And so from the ministry, we have had the director of water and the director of sanitation visiting the area, and they have made some recommendations that...
Why is the ministry not on the committee?
That I can't explain because I didn't set up the committee.
Were you bothered when you were not included?
Well, I mean, if you want to look at it from that point, maybe every ministry will have to be involved, but certainly some will be involved directly.
Water, sanitation is basic.
I mean,
as far as this problem,
the committee will work with various stakeholders, even if you are not directly on the board.
And do you see your ministry as a basic ministry that is needed on this committee?
For me, I mean, the Ministry of Water and Sanitation at this particular point is very critical.
Okay.
In terms of the services that the people need, the relief that they need. Water is critical. Management of sanitation at the area is critical. These are two basic things that, apart from food, these two things will follow. They need food, they need shelter, they need to manage, they need water, they need to manage their sanitation situation so that their health is not compromised. So issues of water and sanitation are critical at this point. And like I was saying, the director of water and the director of sanitation have visited there. There are some recommendations in terms of how the different ways we have to ensure that we provide them clean water, because the boreholes and the water systems that are compromised. We have what they call water treatment tablet or aqua tab. It's a small portable machine that you can use to immediately treat compromised water. So it's one of the things we want to do. So we want to get those machines supplied there.
You want to? I think by now the thing should be there.
So those are machines that we want to get there, so that even the boreholes that are compromised, if you pump water from it, you don't take it directly. You can use a water treatment tablet to treat it before you take it, because the level of water, the flooding, and the amount of that flooded water that has gone into the ground would have compromised the quality of the water that will come out of the borehole. And so, in order to ensure that their health needs are catered for, it's one of the steps that we are taking. The areas that have access roads, we also making provision so that water tankers can move around and then supply water to those areas. And then in terms of sanitation, we are providing digging loo. These are small toilet facilities that, I mean, you just basically dig the ground and put it there so that you can, whatever comes out will go direct into the ground, as a way of, because most of the areas you cannot have cars going there. So if you have these movable toilet facilities, but discharging it and taking it, because the cars can't access it, it will still be a problem. So we think that these Dignilu equipments will be useful in these try moments. So these are some of the measures that the ministry is taking in terms of providing clean water to the people and also ensuring that we manage their sanitation issues. Now, to react to a few things my brother said, I mean, peripheral issues, you know, the NDC at this moment are desperate to get power, and so when there is a disaster like this, instead of concentrating on the core issues, they would want to move into peripheral issues just to score political points. But we all need to concentrate on the major issues. The people are suffering. We need to rescue them. We need to support them. All of us need to contribute in whichever way we can contribute. And my brother was talking about Dr. Baumia contributing 160,000. I said, what have you contributed? Your flag bearer was there. What did he contribute? Oh. He's today saying that, no, listen.
Oh, wait. You're asking me questions.
Wait. But today he has said that he's sending a team to go and do donation. So he's only taking a cue from what the vice president has done. Because he went there earlier, but did not think about, even if it's, what is it, 1 CD, it's contribute. That is all you have.
So he went there,
he went there,
he made an assessment.
He went there and
made an assessment.
He has to only wait for the vice president to go there, and now the vice president is assisting them, is responding to their needs, and that is now compelling him to rethink. Because he has been there for more than 5 days, and he never provided not even a sachet of water. Not any relief item did he deliver to them. Only populist talk that the president should declare state of emergency. Under his presidency in 2015, there was a disaster in Accra. 154 people died. 154.
Which one was that one?
The Accra disaster. Have you forgotten?
So the Accra, there are a number of disasters. So you need to tell me.
The one that involves what is 154 deaths in 2015.
Is it the
you are talking
fire
about
disaster?
The fire?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a one-off thing. This is
it doesn't matter.
It was a one-off thing.
Can you imagine you losing 154 people? Do you know the number of dependents and the consequences? Even today, there are people who are still suffering from this disaster. What are you saying, Bawa?
Okay, you finish.
There are people up to today who are suffering from consequences of this number of people who died. This was a more serious disaster because look at the number of lives that were lost. They have dependents. Most of them were adults. Up to date, I can tell you that if you trace, you see some of their children struggling because they lost their parents. Did he declare a state of emergency to get enough relief to support the families and the dependents on these people? But today he is making a populist statement just to present himself as somebody who is more caring about the people of the area than the sitting president. Meanwhile, you went there, you didn't even know that you were supposed to give them such a water. After the vice president had delivered some items and some money to support them, you are now also learning from him so that you now want to go and do some presentation. That is how unfortunate it is. You are belittling what the vice president has done. Meanwhile, your own flag bearer who wants to be president, who has indeed been a president of Ghana before, didn't know that it was necessary for him to support the victims. Now, why will the president declare state of emergency? Is it a situation that the government cannot contain? Is it a situation Ghanaians cannot manage? That's what I'm saying is populist. And now you are linking it to the statement the president made about the fact that he's not there because the people voted for him. And you see, the media somehow is not helping in these matters. There is no statement that is made without context. What statements the NDC, including Honorable Gomache, one of your MPs, she said that the president is not responding to the needs of people of Volta region because they didn't vote for him. Why should she make such a statement?
So that was a
discriminatory statement, trying to pitch the people of Volta region against the president. Are you telling me that there is no development going on in Volta region? My ministry, some of our biggest investments are taking place in Volta region. Major water project. The president commissioned, he started a project in Volta region amounting to 80 million euros in 2018, benefiting 3 districts, and it was commissioned this year. And some are ongoing. And a lot of those projects have been started, some completed. Now an MP comes on the national stage and says that the president is not minding a certain region because they didn't vote for him. So if the president goes there and says that I am here because I am president and I have a duty to every citizen, whether you voted for me or not, he has a duty.
Let me ask you this question. Was it necessary?
Why is it not necessary? So you think people can just make allegations and try to pitch one tribe against the other?
So the
and they shouldn't be
the
responsible.
president must respond to every allegations made.
This is a serious one. Not everything. But when people are playing tribalism, it's a serious matter. When you are saying that a president is undermining a whole region because they don't vote for his party, it's a serious matter. And the president cannot let it go.
In the area of
and the appropriate forum to respond is when you meet the people who are being incited against you. Why is it that the media and some Ghanaians are not looking at both sides of the equation? So the NDC people can just say that the president hates the people of Volta region. But when the president says that, no, as president, I don't need to come to you because you voted for me or not. I have a duty to everybody once I'm the president. And now the media, because I saw the way you were also reacting to it, and I think that it's not fair.
And eventually said that.
So is it right?
And eventually said that, I know later you vote for me.
Oh, one day, say one day.
One day you vote for me.
Yes. Is it not, if you belong to a party, wouldn't you have hope that people who don't vote for you will vote for you?
Do you appreciate environments, platforms, situations, conditions before making statements?
Yes.
As politicians?
Yes. I mean, anybody who speaks.
You do.
At every point, you look at the consideration should be given to the environment and
before you make statements.
Yes.
And in the president's own judgment, this was best.
But if you are affected by some flood, and then somebody tells you that me, who is supposed to respond to you, I am not responding to you because you didn't vote for me, and I come to you, shouldn't I let you know that my response or supporting you is not determined by whether you voted for me or not? You are affected, and Bauer tells you that Chinia is not responding to you because you didn't vote for him, and I come to you. Is it not the appropriate forum for me to let you know that supporting you is not determined by whether you voted for me or not? What is inappropriate about it?
In Ghana here, when you
and I'm surprised that you people are not taking on those who are playing who are being tribalistic.
In Ghana here,
and you are only looking at the people who are responding.
When you go critical on politicians or leaders' comments, it's not acceptable. Elsewhere, it's very acceptable, but we will still do it. The president said what he said, and also said that I've come here to see what I can do to help. Do you know that the president doesn't have to help, but it's his responsibility to do it?
But he even used the word, it is his responsibility whether they voted for him or not.
Yes, but you shouldn't say that he's come here to see if he can help.
You see, that is the problem that we have. If you want to comprehend somebody's speech, you don't go and take one statement and do your analysis.
I will take the statement of the person I pay taxes to.
But you have to analyze it on the whole speech, not on one statement.
How?
One thing leads to the other. The president, what about the president saying that it is my responsibility to help you, whether you voted for me or not? Why are you not taking that statement on?
Whether you voted
for me? So you see,
I didn't expect the president to make that whole sentence. It's not necessary. If you say that I should analyze it by my opinion, I just feel
so if somebody goes and tell them that you are not being attended to because you didn't vote for the president, and you think that there is no need for a response, that attending to you is not determined by whether you voted for me or not. What is wrong about that? You see, actions and reactions, you don't look at the reaction. The reaction is determined by the action of the earlier speaker. Why should the earlier speaker in the first place go and try to incite the people against the president?
So what if the earlier speaker also told you that there's been actions by the president and the government that points to the fact that
Which are the actions?
Do you remember when the Volta region as a region's name was omitted from the budget? You're in Parliament. You remember?
Omitted?
Yes. Do you remember?
Like what? Omitted like what?
Were you not in Parliament when the budget was presented and Volta region was not in it?
Omitted like what?
Projects.
How?
Was it?
There are a lot of budgetary allocations that are not necessarily tied to regions. There are a lot of allocations in the budget that you don't mention that this region is going to benefit, that region is going to benefit.
You're being selective. You're being selective when you say that you're being selective.
No, I'm not being selective. There are budget provisions that are not targeted or that you don't name regions who are going to benefit. But eventually the regions all benefit.
You have done allocations. You have done allocations, and you have decided that you mention every region and the allocation it makes to that particular region. If you leave one region out, you cannot tell me that it's not every project that you mention. No, because this one, it was a specificity where regions were mentioned and allocations were made to those regions. So if you leave my region, Eastern region out, I will come and question.
So are you suggesting that? Are you suggesting that if there is an error in leaving the name of a region out?
So say it's an error, but don't say that
it means that you dislike them.
So admit that it was an error.
President Akufo-Addo has done, why check Volta region? President Akufo-Addo has done a lot of development in Volta region. Their own MPs, your colleague, Dafe Mako, when you were going for primaries, when he was recounting the projects, a secondary school is being built, Agenda 11 project is nearing completion, his road has been tarred, water projects, a lot of projects there under President Akufo-Addo. Nobody can say that a particular region is being discriminated against. I sitting here, I feel the Volta region is receiving more development than my region. I am telling you. But I can say that President Akufo-Addo doesn't like Upper West because there are projects there too. So if somebody goes to incite people of a particular region because of political expediency, because he wants to entrench the region against MPP, you are not looking at it. The only thing you are looking at is the reaction of the president. That is not fair. And Bawa, even talks about, I mean, sometimes there are some commentaries that we make that are not right. You can't make a statement like the judiciary has lost its focus. You can't undermine a state institution like that. You have to look at the issues you take to court. You have to look at the issues you take to court. Because the court makes decision based on facts put before it. So if a litigant and a respondent goes to court, they make a case, and then they are reluctant, they are not going for the hearing and all that, their actions is not supporting the court to fast track the case, how do you blame the court? You have to make analysis of the case. You have to have an understanding what is happening in the court. But you don't. That is why you went to court, the election petition. You went there, you had no basis. And then at the end, you tend to insult the judges. How can you say the whole judiciary has lost focus as an MP? If somebody tells you that Parliament has lost focus, including you, will you be happy?
Yeah,
there could be challenges.
If we've lost focus, they should say it.
There can be challenges. But it cannot be the case that you describe a state institution in these unpalatable terms.
Well, you know, it's an arm of government.
But are you saying that they are not performing at all?
I'm just trying to tell you that it's not even a state institution. It's an arm of government.
Yes, it's an arm of government. But are you saying that the fact that they have challenges, everybody has. I mean, there are challenges. You, even your private life, in your family, there are challenges that you encounter. But that does not mean somebody will call you an irresponsible parent.
So it's a when
you point out the issues.
When the challenge, your behavior
Bawa,
as a
the point I am
leader
making
of
is
a family, if your behavior consistently seems to suggest that things are not right, that's what they
you take porous cases to court.
Father.
You take porous cases to court
as an irresponsible mother.
You take porous cases to court, and then like this what is it, OSP case. The law is very simple that if you want to confirm seizure of assets, you have 7 days within which to do it. Now you go beyond the 7 days and you go and the court, the judge makes a pronouncement, and that is the only pronouncement the judge has made, and you say that you don't have confidence in the judge.
Who said that?
I mean,
who said that? The government. This is the OSP going to write his thing, and you are saying.
No, I'm just citing an example.
Can you imagine that?
I'm just citing an example, and NBC has several of such cases. You go to the court with bad cases, no evidence, no facts to back your and then when you lose it, then you turn and you are insulting the judges.
Let's come back to the people. Let's come back to the people.
You are talking about this.
Your men in crisis.
You see, I have spoken about them. I have told you the measures my ministry is taking to provide water, but I will just respond. You know, when I started, I said there were peripheral issues he was talking about.
But it was
you started it.
It's in response to
why you were supposed to be talking about the victims and what we are doing to. You weren't talking about John Muhammad state of emergency.
Your point, and I just raise some issue and tell you something.
Well, you can't raise any issues. What issues are you going to raise? You spoke a lot. What issues are you coming to raise? I'm just responding to your peripheral issues that are purely political.
But if they're peripherals, why are you responding to
because he's doing politics. I have to respond to him. I have to let the listeners, viewers know that he's just merely doing politics.
Okay. But so land.
But the more importantly, all of us, in whichever way we can make a contribution, the former president should go and donate. If he has 100,000 or 200,000 or 1 million, he should go and support them. But me and you, what we can also contribute, let's go. The people need help. We should help them. And then the final point I will make is that the VRA at least should have known or have an idea about the volume of water that was going to be released from the dam and the consequences of the settlers around there. And they should have been more proactive than they were, in my view. But some people are also saying that they have spoken to the people about 4 months before this whole thing.
They didn't.
Well,
they spoke to the people in May. Well, we interviewed the deputy CEO. They spoke to the people.
No, the 4 months actually I heard it from the NADMO, head of NADMO.
No, so
that they had done some work 4 months back.
So,
and they,
so this notification,
my concern,
the Downhusu simulation exercise started somewhere in May where they are told the people that they may spill. They weren't sure at that time.
So my main concern is that if VRA had an idea of this volume of water that was going to be released, they needed to take steps to relocate the people completely. I mean, it was avoidable.
Do you think that someone must answer to this?
Well, that is what I'm saying. We are getting different angles of the if it's true that the people were told about 4 months ago that they should relocate, or the volume of water that will come will be so serious that the damage will be serious, and so they should move, and they resisted. That one you can't blame. I mean, if I tell you the fire is coming and you refuse to move, and the fire catches you up, I have performed my duty.
I don't believe that can be true.
But if it is not true, then of course somebody should be answering for it, because they should have anticipated the volume. The volume is too huge, and that is where my concern is. As for spillage, like I've said, it happened in 1966, a year after the dam was constructed. 1967, 68, 69, virtually continuously 70, 71, 72, 74, 2010, and now 2023. So this is the 10th time that we are having the spillage. But the consequences have not been damning as we have now because of the huge volumes that was involved. And somebody should have known and taken a deeper action to get the people out of where they were, so that at least the consequences would not have been as they are. But in the long term, I think government through VRA and the communities affected should be looking at resettlement of some of the areas. Because if we don't do that, maybe in some years' time, we'll be coming back to the same problem. So as much as we are looking at the interim measures of giving relief to the people, getting them food, getting them temporary accommodation, taking care of their water needs and their sanitation needs, we must also be looking at the long term. And that is why the Vice President was talking about re-engineering. And my brother Bawa was doing politics again. The Vice President went there. He gave interim relief as an individual. And also stated government is also making effort. I'm told VRA has made available 10 million Ghana cedis. Road Ministry says they are allocating some money so that they can, when the water subsides, they will go and handle the roads. So government is taking steps. The Vice President also made some donation to support them. But you must also think about the long-term effect. And that is why the Vice President spoke about re-engineering of the place. So that you can look at it, whether you need to relocate the people, whether you need to do something so that you can forestall the problem. Even if it happens, but the magnitude should not be as it is. And without re-engineering, it means that you can have another case and the magnitude will be the same or even more. So you take measures in the short term and also look like long-term measures. And that is what Bawa doesn't. You have worked with the Energy Ministry, you know more than I do because it has been your area over as a spokesperson for the ministry. And you were even involved in the 2010 spillage. So you should be talking about re-engineering. And now the Vice President talks about it, you are condemning it. How? You must be visionary. You must be looking forward. Don't let politics let you try to condemn everything when it is even good. Re-engineering is necessary.
Have you, as your ministry, have you been able to organize a medication for them immediately?
In fact,
because government is still in the process of salvaging.
The truth is that I have been away for the last 2 weeks.
Okay.
I came back the day for yesterday. So I'm not abreast with the entirety of what is happening.
Where were you?
I was in, Parliament is on break. And this is the period also have to be the constituency. So I was in the constituency.
Look.
So what are you doing?
I've said that the minister sent the director for water and the director of sanitation. They've been there. I don't know of other actions that have taken place. But today, when I get to office, I'm sure I'll be appraised with what
you have to, because we'll call you again.
No problem.
Okay. But Annie, just quick ones.
Quick ones.
You see, first and foremost, His Excellency, the former president, was one of the first people to get to the place there. His first action was to, one, go there and assess the situation with his team. And he did that because he knew that, look, these were people who were suffering. He heard that there was flooding and other things. You don't just get up and just go without even having the facts. Even at the time the former president went there, no government official at the top level was there. So he went, he made an assessment, and today he is presenting items to the people. So that's the first point. I'm just trying to tell you.
No, so when he went there, he didn't know that they need water.
Oh, be patient.
They are all the whole place is flooded.
Can I make my point? My second point is, when I talked about the issues and why the judiciary has a problem and is creating more problems for us, you have a case that was sent to court on the 20th of December 2022. That's almost a year, because we are in October now. October is almost ending. So it's about 10 months, 11 months. That, what do you call it? This case was sent to court. He granted injunction. As we speak now, VRA is unable to do the dredging just because of this court injunction. And I'm saying that in sometimes, excuse me, when you're talking, I was quiet. In situations like this, sometimes you may have to look at the public health and the public good and make certain expeditious, what they call the rulings. You understand my point? Today, the dredging has not been done. So because of that, the estuary cannot contain large volumes of water. These waters are entering into people's houses.
Yeah, but he questioned the whole case.
I agree with you.
If the case itself, maybe you can also appreciate the duration it's taking in.
No, so you see, first, look, the point is this. You have placed an injunction on that. So it means that you need to first, because you have told VRA that what it means is that Vera would have definitely made a case that, look, this is something we do on annually. We do this because in case we have a situation that we have today, it is going to save lives. The court will have to look at it and say, okay, then now look at the merits of the petitioners and then deal with it. As we speak now, it has not been resolved. 9 months, 10 months, it has not been resolved. So that is the first challenge. That's why I said that the judiciary is part of the problem that we have. Talk to the police. They will tell you that they go to, they arrest people, they take them armed robbers, they go, the next moment they are given, that they are released, they come back and they come and rob again. Most of the people they make are people who are either on bail or other things in courts, and they come back to rob. I'm just trying to tell you that we must have a different way of approaching this as a judiciary, and that's what I'm saying. That the judiciary is gradually losing its focus, and I've made that point, and I have no regrets for that, and that's my point.
No, but
now the issue. I'm coming. Let me finish. You were talking. Oh. You see, he behaved like his president. When he started his conversation, his first thing was to blame the people.
No.
His first reaction was to blame them about the fact that Ghanaians do not take instructions. They tell you remember. His first action was to behave like his appointing authority. That's what he did. Look, I am telling you. So are you telling me that the areas like Mefe and other Mepe or whatever they call it, those areas, were they all part of the catchment area? All these people are all under the water. So you do not just look at the fact that you think that 1 or 2, 3 people may have encroached the areas where they are not supposed to, the spillway. On the strength of that, you just lump all of them together and you start your whole submission by blaming them. That you are the reason.
But even looking at it this way, this spillage happened a nature of it 60 years ago, as they say. Someone has lived in that community 60 years all his life.
He has never experienced it.
He's never experienced this before. And you say, come.
And you get that. And your first reaction
and you don't have an option for where he has to move to. What do you expect him to do? He doesn't have anywhere to move to. So if there are people, which we as news people have not even captured, that they were asked to move and they didn't move, if there are people of that nature, they are justified because you provided no alternative.
But you see something. You see, you don't do comparison of disaster. Oh, this disaster happened. Let me give you the May 3rd disaster, and that sorry I said May June 3rd disaster that happened when the explosion happened opposite Vienna. Was a one-off thing. There was a fire outbreak. And in the fire outbreak, we lost about 157. I remember that day it was raining. We lost a huge number of people. I mean, and that was it. But it was a one-off thing. So it was an incident. It's like an accident. Bam, then it happens. This one, you have a situation where, apart from the fact that they have just said just yesterday that they didn't see the increase in the levels going up. So it means that it seems now things. But you have a situation where these are people who are under this problem for over a week plus. And so people are now saying that, look, declare a state of emergency. What does that mean? The state of emergency will, for example, allow state and governmental institutions to really reorganize to see how they can deal with that as a lesson. The state of emergency would allow, for example, the normal relocation of these individuals. State of emergency may even tell you that, yes, the law says X. That's why you come to Parliament for approval. The law says this. The law says they're governing Ghana. But we are suspending these ones because we need to save lives. And you will take just a one-off thing because there was a fire outbreak on in a particular day, that was June 3rd, and say that because June 3rd, if that's the way we declare state of emergency, then we would have declared them all over the place. Meanwhile, you have a situation where, for example, in Boko, the slightest thing, there's always a state of emergency made because they know that it is not a one-off thing. It may be for a day, number of days, so they declare that. So you don't take one-off incident of fire outbreak.
The law says that the circumstances under which a state of emergency may be declared under this article is a natural disaster, and any situation in which any action is taken or is immediately threatened to be taken by any person or body or persons which A, is calculated or likely to deprive the community of essentials of life, or B, renders necessary and taking of measures which are required for securing the public safety, the defense of Ghana, and the maintenance of public order and of supplies and service essential to the life of the community.
Tell me which of these conditions has not been met at this place, and you compare this to the circle incident. I mean, you don't do things like this. You don't. You are a member of Parliament. You are a deputy minister, for God's sake. You don't do things like this. And then you get up and you want to make this what do you call this comparison. But you see, the part that was interesting, you realize they say we want to, and that was very telling to hear the deputy minister of state indicate that we want to. Today is about, look, they started the spillage on the 15th of September. Today's date is what? Today 20th. Is 20th. Over a month, and they are still doing, we want to. That is the challenge that we have with these guys. Every time it's about promise. So me, I will say, but now he asks what we are doing. He says what we are doing. And I tell you remember that I said that I drew my ship's attention to the fact that beyond just the communities in the downstream of the voter, those who are also in the upstream, like the Pro East and other things, I told you that I drew his attention to it. The reason was because we as members of parliament in the minority are contributing to see how we can also support this. And I was saying that whilst we do this, we should also look at trying to ensure that the other communities up north should also be taken care of in these particular things.
So I want to react to a few things. One, he talked about the judiciary.
You are just reacting to my thing. Say your own thing and stop.
Oh, I've said my own things. But you are doing a lot of propaganda. You are talking about the judiciary and the fact that the case has delayed before the judge. The judge is an arbiter. The judge, on his own or her own, doesn't determine how fast the case goes, because there's a complainant, and the complainant action and inactions will help the judge to move the case faster. And so it is not just about the judge, how fast the case goes on. Now, you also talked about, I blame the people. I said that, you see, this kind of populist politics, that will not help. When I started, I expressed my sympathies to the people. And I said that the number of people affected could have been averted if certain people who were illegally occupying some of the spaces were not there. There are people who are occupying, some spaces that is legal. But there are others who have moved in to settle after the dam was constructed, and they have settled on the spillway. And that was the point I made, that if we could have reduced the number of people affected if we didn't have illegal occupants. Now, you were talking about the fact that resettling them will require, I agree with you, but it is not in every case that the state will have to provide an alternative place for you. If you legally occupy a place and the state finds that in event of disaster you can be affected and the state wants to relocate you, it becomes a duty on the state to provide an alternative place for you. But if the state identifies a place as a disaster point and therefore does not allow any settlement there, and you illegally go and occupy there, it doesn't become the duty of the state to relocate you.
Hold on.
It becomes the duty of the state to make sure that you live there.
So all the people that have been affected by these floods were occupying there illegally?
No, I didn't say that.
So what are you saying?
Oh, were you not listening? Stop this. I said that some of them were illegally occupied spaces, but others were not.
How many of them were illegally?
I don't know the numbers.
You should have, once you are making this allegation, you should have the number.
Why didn't you hold him to prove a lot of issues?
No. You are making something that has to do with law.
So are you saying that?
Hold on. How many of them were illegally
I don't know the number. I don't know the number. But there are people who are settled on the spillway after the dam was constructed. I don't know the number. But it's not all the settlements there that are legally, there are some of them who have gone to illegally occupy the space.
So why is NADMO and government providing for those who have been, those who are falling victims?
But even if you commit crime and you go to prison, don't government feed you?
They are not in prison.
But the fact that you are a Ghanaian, if you have not done the right thing, does not mean that the state should throw you off. The state will support you.
If you have engaged.
Are you saying that?
If you have engaged in an illegality, the state has no business engaging you and supporting you.
It depends on the illegal. In terms of settlement, in Accra here, there are people who have occupied spaces they shouldn't occupy. When there's flood, government will take care of them. In Accra here.
You are mixing apples and oranges.
No, I am giving you examples. It's the same situation.
You're mixing apples and oranges.
I am telling you that the fact that you have illegally occupied a space in terms of settlement and there is a disaster, it does not mean that government should abandon you.
So how many illegal occupants did you arrest?
Me. Do I arrest illegal occupants? You see, this is why it will develop. It's difficult to develop Ghana because people pretend a lot. When there are relatives,
it is your analysis that will make it difficult to develop.
It is not. It is not.
You are not providing. One of the problems. You are not providing data for from the report that we have gathered. This number of people were occupying the water.
So the fact that I don't have the data.
No.
To back, it means people are not illegally occupying spaces.
Actually, this whole disaster, this is my first time hearing that people were illegally occupying some spaces.
That's some of the settlements that are on this, the spillway. Are you not aware of that?
No, I'm not aware.
No, are you not aware of that?
Make your point.
No, are you not aware of that? You see,
make your point.
You see, you don't help in the discussion. There are people who are occupying the spillway illegally.
You see where South.
Who are going to go there?
You see where South is. You see where South is. Now, you have a member of parliament who draws attention of the state to the fact that people in South are affected by the floods.
People in Pru East
are affected by the floods. People in Bupe.
What are you saying? Have I said that everybody who is affected is you see, I am talking about an aspect where people have occupied spaces they shouldn't occupy. But it does not mean that there are others who are affected who are genuinely have settled there, and it's just a disaster. So I'm saying that we could have reduced the number of people affected if others had not settled on the spillway. That is the point I've made. Now, to the issue of the statement that you just read. The constitutional provision. It depends on how you interpret it. The 2015 disaster can for me be captured there. It depends on your understanding of the various.
That's why it's not being done.
No, allow him.
I'm just saying that. I am just trying to point out the hypocrisy. I'm just trying to point out the hypocrisy of the former president. That he was president when the disaster occurred. The place got flooded, houses were destroyed, and to the extent that 100...
which houses got flooded?
Oh, there was flooding. It rained. There was flooding.
Why? I was one of the first people to get there because it was a fuel station, and because it was a fuel station, it fell under us. So you don't just... What do you mean by which flooded?
Okay.
It rained. Yes. And there was water. Oh.
Where's it flooded? Where was flooded? Where?
The space was flooded.
Which part of
it was flooded. Oh, Bawa.
You see,
it was raining.
It rained. It rained. And so it's not that when you use the word flood, it was raining.
No.
What is flood? What is flood?
No, that was flat.
What's the flood? What do you mean flood? Flood from where?
From the rains.
No. So the point. This is the issue. It was raining. The difference between the fact that it was raining and it was flooded.
There was water that cars were covered.
Hold on, I'm not sure. Honorable Minister,
it was flooded. Cars were even covered.
Honorable Minister, hold on.
A whole car is sunk in the water. You are saying there's no flood.
So let's even assume. Look, let's even assume that yes,
a disaster that you have lost 154 lives. So, you think it's not important?
The rains we get in Accra. In Accra.
No, I agree. I'm saying that.
Was it different from
no.
The rains we get in Accra? In another case, so he is no. The point he's making is that the people they deserve what they deserve because
I have not said that. I have not said that. You can say it. You can say it the way you want.
Okay.
That is your propaganda.
Annie, good morning to you. I know you're watching. Thank you for the notice. Someone says, good morning, Annie. The gentleman, he's a deputy minister for sanitation. I'm a little worried about the justification of what I view as attempted murder. If the government had a family within that vicinity, would he appreciate how his so-called engineers fell tsunami on the people? I am an engineer with His Majesty Royal Air Force. What was done is simply barbaric. There has to be an investigation. The border on the ethnic cleansing. Maybe let me just... He says that I'm senior aircraft technical Nelson, Gilberta, South Europe. Thank you. This one says, Mark says, Mark, thank you for the notice. I was holding it to the last bit because I didn't want to throw anybody off. Lawyer Akutu Ampao has passed. Yes. If you know Lawyer Akutu Ampao, maybe we can have his picture on the screen, Lawyer Akutu Ampao. He is one of the colossus that the country has. So, just for your information, lawyers are being called to the bar today. Unfortunately, we have this news coming in. So, lawyer Akutu Ampao, indeed, our condolences to the family. That's lawyer Akutu Ampao. If you don't remember anything, you should remember election disputes in courts. I mean,
I remember him because
a very
before he became this, this extreme right, like in terms of liberal Democrats, that as we see him now, he used to be one of the main voices of socialism and other things.
Yes.
And as a student leader, I remember I invited him for a talk in University of Ghana.
Yes.
To give a talk, and then Yal Graham to come and give a talk. Okay. So I remember that very well. As a matter of fact,
that's one of President Pratt's friends when he said socialist.
Yeah.
So he's the one that sent it early morning, before the show started. But I really didn't want to kill us off.
I know so well.
So that's lawyer Akutu Ampao in there. Annie, good morning. Inform the MP that, which of them? I think Honourable Minister, the stereo that his call for former President GM to go and donate to is a late call and should rather be directed to his president. GM has sent thousands of relief items, including mattresses, rice, oil, sanitary products. GM didn't go empty-handed. Yes, he said he didn't go empty-handed. He sent products already. He gave a total failure and should be kicked out. It's not true.
It's not true. When he didn't donate, it's today he's going to donate. After Baumia donated.
Good morning, Annie. The NDC attempt to whip up tribal sentiment from the harmless statements made by President is really much ado about nothing. Ghanaians are very much awake to discern between lies and propaganda and against the truth and remain sacrosanct. MPP government is focused. Nana Akuyamo Boateng, Blakema Central. You sent that in. Lawyer Eric Dela. Elifo, he actually says that the president just went on the frolic of his own to tell the people that if he were to consider whether or not the people had voted for him, he would have not come to them to sympathize with them. The president only wanted the people to feel bad that though they had not voted for him, he was there to commiserate with them. The president was unnecessarily partisan. Lawyer Delayon Alifo said that in. Some PLA says that what does Deputy Minister is saying? What's he saying? That the fire disaster at the circle was one-off situation. And how did it call for a state of emergency under the Constitution? Honorable Aziz, former MP for Mion constituency, sent pictures. He says that Roxanne's statements. Roxanne donated 1 million Ghana cedis cash and items for flood victims in Sierra Leone. And then however, in October 2023, he visited flood victims in Volta and gave them 160K. I think we've raised that issue, but I think what he decides to donate, please leave him to it. Dr. Baumia lives for Sierra Leone.
And that excludes even flight expenditure. And
I've seen the headlines. Well, Ministers of Education and Health ought to be part of the committee. The effects of the flooding, to address the effects of the flooding, that given that thousands of pupils have been affected. Okay, so Clement Apak sent this to me earlier. Annie, I love the way Bauer chronologically broke down the disaster situation, very educative. However, let's understand also that the First Sky is a profitable business, but Baumia is a president servant paid with our tax money. So 160K from an individual, whether small or not, it's neither here. It's neither here nor there.
Even saying to support you.
You said Baumia is paid by the state, and I'm saying that the former president is also paid by the state.
We, however, should be looking at the direction of the decision of V. Baumia on how to deal with the situation and seriousness. They attached to this. People have lost a lot of suffering, are going through a lot of suffering. Ghana is watching. And Mr. Isaiaku is clearly does not understand what results the declaration of state of emergency, in the declaration of an emergency. Well, I get that. But I think that's why we go to the Supreme Court to interpret laws. Everybody have their interpretation until you go to the Supreme Court. NADMO is broke, simple. Nanado should stop building his needless cathedral and equip NADMO to work effectively. Bank of Ghana is building a new head office with our taxes. when hospitals don't have beds. As we speak, NADMO is incapacitated because they don't have enough funds to rescue our people who are affected by the spillage of the Akonsombo Dam. Proverb 29:2, Prince Henry sent this in. And let me just pick a quick one. Okay. It's not easy. Hamza Pekfam says that, good morning, Annie. What the good people of Volta region need now is medication, food, water, shelter, and not arrogance exhibited by the president. In my humble opinion, the president must apologize to the good people of Volta because this is an insult to the intelligence of the good people of Volta region. Annie, we're being told that $4 million have been made available for 40 million available for the farmers. And my problem is how these monies are going to be disbursed. I'm saying this because I don't trust the government when it comes to accountability. When we've seen this before, COVID funds were distributed to party functionaries for campaigns. Lawyer Alifo says that, and the president did not seek to explain to the people why he had not come to them earlier and explain that it was not because they did not vote him. Nobody can say that he was actually reacting to accusations and he had failed to go there because of politics. Well, that's your interpretation you're putting to it too. But let me, congratulate these people again. I start off with Abnagbabo. Abnagbabo is also being called to the bar this morning. Wendy Enieje, Mami Bruni, Mr. This is your name, I can't really call, but this is CID of MPP in Kumasi or Ashanti region. CID is also being called to the bar today. CID, congratulations to you. Kwabena Fojo also of Multimedia, Usman Ayariga today, Member of Parliament for Otafo constituency, Vincent Asefwa, Amafrema Asante as well, and of course, Samia Uku, who is the Director General for National Lotteries Authorities. Well, all of you, congratulations to everyone being called to the bar. Let me, I'm wrapping up. 1 minute each, let me just go. Yes,
okay, so we don't have I think that, when, in as much as, as leaders, we must de-emphasize ethnicity and other things and look at the general well-being of Ghanaians and treat everybody at the same time. When you have a situation that seems to suggest that you have a penchant for a particular group of people, there's a problem. I just recalled, and I was just trying to draw his attention to it. You remember when the Parliament Chief of Aflawo talked about school building and other things, and the fact that it was not completed. The president's response on Kokroko was to just poo-poo what he said with all the disrespect he had for him. Then you have this second issue. And these people are looking at this on the back of the fact that there were a lot of calls. You remember the tidal waves and how they were being neglected. So I am saying that, look, in as much as we should not be emphasizing these things, I think the president's attitude generally, and you see the scripture says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. You will see that what he said that day is what he has always had in his head. Okay. And therefore, this was it. So I tell him, look, he is a father of the nation. Even if it is that he is, you see him as a member of parliament for Sisala East. I can tell him certain things that to a very large extent, I look at them and I say, oh, they look too hard. I may have some reservation in what I will say to the president because he's the father of the nation. Right. I revere that. So his attitude must also reflect the office. Because for now, unscripted Akufo-Addo is a very reckless speaker. Okay. Today too is the birthday of Ursula Owusu-Ekufo, Minister for Communications. Ursula Owusu-Ekufo, today is her birthday. Happy birthday to you, ma'am, and I hope that you enjoy. Princess Lawyer as well, today is your birthday. Honorable, your 1 minute.
Yes, the first thing I want to say is that the statement sent by Z. Roxon about Vice President donating 1 million, I mean, he donated it as on behalf of government of Ghana. He represented government of Ghana. It wasn't a personal donation. It was a personal donation.
The Vice President?
Yes. The 1 million Ghana cedis, he donated it on behalf of Ghana. $1 million.
The Sierra Leone,
yes,
Sierra Leone.
So you don't compare that to the 160,000 Ghana cedis he donated. This 160,000 Ghana cedis is a personal donation, but government is also taking actions. I told you VRA is making available 10 million Ghana cedis. There are other support from government that is. So you don't. The two are not the same.
Is it not surprising that
disaster
that started September 15th? It is just this weekend, or is it today or something like that? That cabinet is going to sit.
You have finished.
Cabinet is going to sit to talk about the spillage.
Yeah.
Why? Government has taken many decisions, but they will continue to take decisions. It's not one often. Government has taken decisions, and government will continue to take decisions.
But NADMO is government.
No, you don't get the point. The cabinet is not going to meet.
I get it.
But government has taken decisions and will take more.
Israel, the slightest.
Oh, you are finished. Keep quiet and let me talk.
You are finished. We are close.
It's 1 minute. My time is up.
We are close.
So I'm just saying, I'm drawing your attention that the $1 million donated by Obama was on behalf of government of Ghana.
Okay.
The 160,000 is his personal support to the people, but the donations or support by government will be different from. So you don't compare the two.
Okay.
Now he talks about Aflawo chief. The school the chief complained of, the president made sure it was completed. It has been commissioned. So I mean, he has responded. He has
been too disrespectful to the.
Oh, my brother. Sometimes I mean, the people.
Okay. To Sarah Nanekia Ajare from Emmanuel Ajare, Nana Kusia, Papa Kojo, and the entire family. Today is your birthday. They say you've been a beautiful mother to the family. So happy birthday to you. Lawyer Kutampao, right. So let me just announce again that Lawyer Kutampao has passed, so you can research about it later. But that's what we have for you this week. Thank you, Honorable Minister. Thank you, Honorable MP as well, for coming through. This has been Good Morning Ghana. We're back next week, but we'll be monitoring the activities in Akonsombo, in the Volta Basin over the weekend, and then we'll bring you some more reports. Stick with Metro TV as we bring you some more updates from the disaster-prone area. My name is Annie Efo Ampofo. Good morning.